Alright guys, we are back for another Dokkan battle video. So today we're going to take a look at the new Frieza. The next Dokkan Fest, the first sort of Dokkan Fest CUR of the year is going to be first from Frieza. Just like Super 17 last year, one thing we can definitely note is that Frieza's animations look fantastic. Seems like, you know, this time slot, they definitely seem like they're able to allocate a lot of extra resources. Or whatever, to making the character's animation sparkle, which certainly is good. Now, I don't know how good this Frieza is going to be. He doesn't really have a lot of tools besides just the ability to do a lot of damage or have raw defense. These are exactly the type of characters that do usually age pretty fast. I mean, I think the biggest issue for Frieza, regardless of how his kit is that he's not overwhelmingly dominant, can completely control the fight by himself. He needs help, and he doesn't have help, really. I think the new Dodoria should be pretty solid, but it's just like Frieza and Dodoria alone are not going to do it, and the rest of Terrifying Conquerors is really quite bad. I think that's what's going to be the major issue for Frieza. Again, this is 55%. Let's go and hop into an event and see how Frieza is going to perform here. Frieza does get buffs against a Pure Saiyan character and a low-class warrior character. I mean, that is tough to find a character who's going to be on low-class warrior. You don't exactly see those. Like, I don't even, like, why do that? I do not agree with them restricting a Dokkan Fest summonable character the way they have, with, like, buffs against Pure Saiyan and low-class warrior category. Like, that shit should be saved for sub-EZAs, free-to-play characters, EZA characters, not the new summonable character. That is a bummer, because it's like, you know, we look at all of the really tough fights right now. Red Zone movie boss rush, you know, we could get that extra damage and crit chance against a Pure Saiyan enemy in there. So let's just find a fight where we could look at Frieza. We do want to keep in mind this is 55% Link level 1. Frieza is a Big Bad Boss's character. Obviously, those characters always look best at Link level 10. But, you know, we're going to jump in and see how first form Frieza looks here. Alright, guys, we're here in an event. Now, Frieza, again, he's got a lot of buffs against Pure Saiyan enemies and low-class warrior enemies, which I would like to see. The low-class warrior enemy buffs, I mean, it's pretty much just not going to be non-existent, because what Frieza gets is an additional super attack. He does get actual damage against a Pure Saiyan enemy, though, which is very important. A lot of these Great Apes in this stage should count. Yeah, that does look insanely good. God damn, dude. Like, what the hell? Alright, so, I mean, we could just start talking about Frieza now. Let's talk about what's good. Let's talk about what's bad. I think that Frieza's active skill is probably going to be, like, the single strongest thing about him. It would have to be, right? So, remember, we have the combo. This is important. Frieza does stack attacks. So, super attack effect. He stacks attack by 30%. He gets 30% defense for one turn, and then he greatly lowers enemy attack. Remember that lowering enemy attack can be pretty good. There's several fights. Gogeta, Supreme Battle Spectacle Gogeta, can be attack debuffed. Cell Max obviously can be attack debuffed as well. Stacking attack doesn't do the most. If you're a character that does a lot of super attacks, I mean, you could just naturally stack it up a lot. Maybe like the 8th Anniversary GT Goku and Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta. But where attack stacking really comes invaluable is if you have a big active skill attack, like which Frieza has got, right? So Frieza's active skill, we can do it right away. Okay, so there's 3 separate conditions here. So Frieza can do it whenever, if there's a low-class warrior enemy. Gonna be uncommon, very uncommon. Frieza could do it if there's a pure Saiyan enemy on turn 3, and then if there's none of that, Frieza could do it on turn 5. I mean, overall, I'd say it's a fine condition. Just turn 5, I don't think there's anything bad about that or anything. It's because it's not like, oh my god, like it's a transformation. We have to get in there as quickly as possible. And I believe it is just turn 5 from the start of battle. We don't have any bullshit shenanigans to worry about where, oh my god, he started on slot 7. Now we can't get it until turn 57 or anything like that, right? It's just the start of battle, which is going to be really good for us. But we would want to stack a lot of get a lot of attack stacks before we actually drop the super attack anyway. The active skill right there. Okay, so there's that. Frieza, again, keep in mind, link set. I mean, these Frieza clan characters usually have very similar link sets. So we have Big Bad Bosses, best link in the game. This link, so I guess they're trying to make this a real thing. In Japanese, it's just called Frieza Force. But they call it Frieza's Army on Global. Okay, like, it's not good, because it's basically just Frieza and Dodoria right now, but it's one of these things. I mean, if they keep giving it out, like, it could be good. You know, if they give us, like, a nice Dokkan Fest Zarbon, I think Monster Zarbon certainly could be a nice Dokkan Fest they could do at some point. Like, there's some stuff they could do. It is a strong link. I mean, as you guys can see, at link level 10, it's 10% attack, 20% defense. Right? I do like this, that it just shows you what the buff is once you max it out. So that's good. So he's got Frieza's, Big Bad Bosses, Frieza's Army, Strongest Clan of Space, Universal Most Malevolent, Thirst for Conquest. This is an elite villain link right here. 15% attack and defense. Weelo, Bojack, Turles, Cooler, Piccolo Jr., you know, Metal Cooler, Garlic Jr. A lot of major villain characters have this link, so Frieza having this is obviously very good. Fear and Faith, common villain key link, that's good. Fierce Battle. Link set is fine. Certainly no issues with that. Alright, let's see. So this is a 55% friend. Yeah, just like link level 1, no equips, just like mine. Okay, perfect. Alright, let's see what we're going to do. Now remember, we're in a bit of a weaker event, but I mean, there's not really much I could do about that. In order to fight a low-class enemy, which I wanted to at least get in here, this is, you know, bro, like, sorry, there's not a low-class warrior supreme battle spectacle stage. My bad. 8.7. So, he does 8.7. That's 55% link level 1. 8.7 right there. So, a stacking attack. He's got a lot of additionals. You can see where he is going to be a hard hitter. And especially, depending upon how many Terrifying Conqueror allies there are and stuff like that, I mean, Frieza could nearly be guaranteed critting pretty much the whole time. Alright, so here, this is Kid Goku, I believe. So we are going to have Frieza next to Dodoria. So we're at 312k defense right there. Let's just quickly go over what Frieza's doing in terms of his passive. So he activates his intro. He gets 100% attack and defense, and additional has a high chance to be a super. Nice that we actually got that to proc last turn. And it's if there's another 2 Space Traveling Warrior category allies at the start of the turn. I mean, if you have Frieza, the friend Frieza, Dodoria, bam, that's it. You know, that's fine. They really, dude, there's so many conditions on this guy. Like, I'm talking about, like, category conditions, enemy conditions, those type. Remember how many times you guys heard me say, like, you know, when Trunks, I probably didn't like Trunks as much as some other people, but it's like, dude, like, you pull up Trunks' kit, it doesn't matter what allies you have, it doesn't matter what team you're on, that really strengthens a character like that to be used in a lot of difficult missions that might show up, right? They could have missions to sell Max, Red Zone Movie Boss Rush, all types of things, right? It could be very valuable. Frieza, unfortunately, is just bogged down by he needs these category characters on the team and these other category characters on the team, and he has to be fighting these types of enemies. That shit sucks. When it's like, you know, I mean, I could just speak for myself. It took me 5,000 stones to Rainbow Frieza. So I look forward to using Terrifying Conquerors with the shitty characters getting killed every time. When, you know, 5,000 stones, I mean, I don't know, what, 3 grand? Frieza cost me, like, $3,000 to lose every single fight. Thank you, Dokkan. Like, let's just make them a bit stronger, teams a bit tighter, right? Like, they really should think, like, okay, like, we're gonna do a Terrifying Conqueror Space Traveling Warrior thing. What if we, like, Giga Charge Frieza and Dodoria. Like, oh no, like, you know, an in-between Dokkan Fest will be better than Golden Week or something like that. Who cares? Right? It's a Dokkan Fest like all the others. So there's his intro. He gets 3 key 150% attack units at the start of turn. The key is nice on a TUR. Means, you know, you're just very easily going to be... Like, key is not going to be no issue, which is always good. 150% attack units when attacking, so we got the multiplicative buffs already right there. Then this is a real troublesome part of Frieza to me. He gets 20% defense and 10% chance to crit per Terrifying Conqueror category ally in the team. Terrifying Conquerors is this one. The issue here is that this category is not really good. That's a problem. Int Golden Frieza. I do always forget that he's on there, but I mean, we would need other super bosses characters, and Terrifying Conquerors is not very heavy because, like, the Goku Black character, like the Goku Black family of characters, is not in Terrifying Conquerors. Neither is Hit or Jiren or the Universe 6 Saiyans or Beerus, right? The only super boss's character that has Terrifying Conquerors is Frieza himself, and yeah, Resurrection F Frieza, obviously. Yeah, he better count. Yeah. So yeah, I mean that's. My point is, I don't think that this Golden Frieza is going to be a great run. Because, I mean, he's just all about super bosses, right? And now we have DBZ Frieza, so a bit unfortunate there. But, I mean, you can see, I mean, we could run Piccolo Jr. Well, no, I mean, I guess we can't, because Piccolo Jr. is not on Frieza's team. That does hurt. Yeah, I don't know. We'll keep going. We'll address concerns as they come up. But you're going to want a lot of Terrifying Conqueror allies, at least 5 or so. I mean, because he could get up to, what, 140% defense from 7 Terrifying Conqueror allies. He's always going to have one up, which is himself. No matter what, he himself will count. So he's going to get 20% defense, 10% chance to crit by default. And, you know, we could just keep getting that higher. And that defense is going to be super important for him, for sure. Then he gets an extra 100% attack and a guaranteed additional super, starting from the turn in which he does his 5th attack. Then he gets 100% attack and a 50% chance to crit if there's a pure Saiyan enemy. And then if that enemy is a low-class warrior, it's a guaranteed additional super. I guess what we could do, so we've talked about it, we could just get footage now. Maybe I'll just go to, like, the Super Saiyan 3 Broly Dokkan event, and then we could just, like, stack up for a while. Because the thing is he does have a low-class warrior restriction, but the good thing is it's just an additional super, right? I mean, obviously that's really good, but, like, when it comes to, like, a showcase like this, we're just showing Frieza's stats more so than anything. Here's his attack stat. Here's what his defensive stat is like, right? Like, this showcase is not like, all right, like, how is he tanking against the big boss? That's not what this is. This is Kid Gohan, right? This is Kid Gohan. So, okay, well, this is good. So now we're going to get a drop down. We're fighting Kid Gohan, so this is not a pure Saiyan, not a low-class warrior enemy. Actually, yeah, some of these Infinite Dragon Ball History stages could be good for this. I do wish the bosses maybe were a bit tankier, but I mean, this stage, I don't know. I think this might have come out with Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta. I'd have to, I guess I could look it up. I did create a playlist for Infinite Dragon Ball History. We're in stage 19. Let me double check. I'm curious. When would this stage have come out? Because this ends. I know the last fight in here is Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta. Alright, so we are getting a lot of additionals and stuff like that. Remember, Frieza is stacking attack every single time that he does super attack, right? So we're going to see his damage progressively go up. And then towards the end of the fight, you know, we could drop the Nuking Spirit Bomb. So stage 19, yeah, I've got it right here, versus Great Ape Power. Oh, the other thing I should do as well is let's take a look at the low-class warrior enemies. So I want to flip over real quick. So this is the stage we're doing. March of 22. Oh, that was for Saiyan Day. That came out with Int Majin Vegeta. What? Yeah, this is the stage that came out with Int Majin Vegeta against Grade A Power. Okay, sure. And then low-class warrior enemies. I mean, we don't really see this. These are not, like, big enemies somewhere. I mean, I could definitely see Path to Power Kid Goku being, like, a Supreme Battle Spectacle stage. Sure. I mean, okay, I guess Turles. like the initial phase of the movie boss Red Zone, but it's literally phase 1. 23rd World Tournament Goku, this guy could be a Supreme Battle Spectacle stage at some point. The good news is, 6 months ago, I'd have been sitting here like, I mean, we have Red Zone stages, but, all these superclass enemies don't get tough fights, but they do now. Supreme Battle Spectacle, which is essentially just Blue Zone. So, I mean, but most of these characters in here would be Supreme Battle Spectacle stages, and the only Supreme Battle Spectacle we have right now is Dragon Ball Super, which obviously, these are all, like, Dragon Ball era or early Dragon Ball Z era characters. I still think it's stupid that Kaioken Goku from the fight against Great Ape Vegeta is not on Low Class Warrior. By the way, I think that's really dumb, because the whole thematic point of it is Goku like fighting the chosen prince, and Goku, like, it's right, like, oh, this guy locks? That's ass. All right, well, we're gonna lose out on some links with Dodoria. Whatever. We definitely want to put Frieza right there in slot 1. Get as many attacks as possible, see what he's doing. So in terms of defense here, right? So Frieza, he gets what? The 150% defense when he attacks. And then he's getting 30% defense as well. So he is a hard slot 2 character. I mean, the good thing about Supreme Battle Spectacle Gogeta, when we do that video, I mean, I will probably try and just nuke him off the field anyway. I don't think Frieza's gonna, we're not going to one-shot him, but we could certainly do a lot of damage. Frieza does have a lot of built-in crit as well, so critting on his active is probably going to be very realistic, I would say. There's the first additional normal of the video. Not really too bad. If we're this deep and we're getting additional normals, that's pretty good. Okay. Should we start thinking about trying to drop this yet? Let's see. So we're fighting Great Ape Kid Goku. So we fight Great Ape Vegeta next, and then we end with Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta. This is a really good turn for this Frieza. He's done a lot of attacks. We have most of our links activated. Let's do this. Remember that Jace and Birder are supporting Space Traveling Warrior. Remember that they actually came out alongside DOKKANFEST AGL, right? Yeah, I feel like the thing that's interesting is we have talked... Damn, if that would have hit and done damage, maybe we would have kind of gotten Big Bad Bosses activated. We have really talked about most of what Frieza has to offer, right? I don't... Frieza, I think, is going to be pretty horrible in the game right away. But mostly less to do because he's, Raditz level. I don't think that. But more so to do with he's just surrounded by terrible characters. And Dokkan, I mean, guys, we saw what the 9th anniversary LR EZAs look like, right? What, Broly, Chi... Let's use Broly, Chi-Lai, and Lemo, and STRUI Goku as the examples. Because those are yellow coin LR EZAs. I mean, if we got an LR Turles EZA, let's just say that, like, I'm making a tier list, and I'm like, Broly, Chi-Lai, Lemo, or LR Turles, that would be huge for Frieza. If LR Turles EZA would be that good. So obviously, like, okay. And they're giving us the AJL Bardock EZA. Who, it's like, AJL Bardock, I mean, I like the fact that he's going to buff a lot of weaker teams. That's really good. But the focus should be Frieza. Frieza should be the focus of the celebration. Buffing Frieza. Making Frieza have a relevant team. Instead, they chose the EZA Bardock, who has nothing to do with Frieza. Oh, by the way, you might think, well, that's not true. Frieza leads Space Traveling Warriors. He does. Bardock is obviously on Space Traveling Warriors, right? Nope. No, he's not. Because Space Traveling Warriors, I don't care what anyone says, is one of the worst categories that they have. How do I word this? It's a good category to have, but the criteria they use is broken. Because so many characters who are actively traveling through space to multiple planets are not on Space Traveling Warriors. Including Resurrection F. Golden Frieza, who definitely travels through space to do stuff. You can make the argument that the Namek Saga characters all could be on there as well. I think that would be very valid. Metal Cooler is literally traveling through space on the Big Getty Star. Why is he not on it? And Bardock, who is a 2020 character. So Bardock would be right around here. Exactly right here. Yep, because there's Raditz, who is Bardock's band unit. Bardock is not on Space Traveling Warriors, for some reason. Even though it's literally Bardock who, after Frieza drops the Death Ball, the active skill we're about to use, you know, then, like, he drops the Death Ball, and then Bardock ends up getting caught in, like, a time loop or time warp or whatever the hell we want to talk about it as. So, I don't know. So Frieza is hurt badly by the fact that they shafted characters off of Space Traveling Warriors. And then Planetary Destruction, though, like, Golden Frieza is on here. Yeah, Metal Cooler is not. Actually, that's an oversight as well. Metal Cooler should also be on Planetary Destruction because didn't he destroy planets with the Big Eddie Star? Am I crazy? Should I go rewatch the movie? Like, now this Frieza, like, you see, dude, this Frieza's even hurt by previous, like, category shenanigan bullshit. That sucks. The good news, though, speaking very positively about him, again, his animations do kick ass. That has got to be one of, like, the best looking, like, KO screens we've got in the game. Maybe it's a bummer that they didn't voice his laugh. That's probably, like, the one thing. Now, keep in mind, he does have an attack break right there. That can be a game winner. Attack break on the active, that could be, dude, huge. But, I mean, I think this just gets into more of my personal luck, though. How many times have we attack braked, and then the very next attack is the boss super attack? We've seen it a billion times. Alright, okay, can we... Gogeta probably won't... Let's see what it looks like if we skip it, since we just played it. Gogeta probably won't die to this. Okay, so... Even on the script, even on the skip, you get a lot of the talking and stuff. Okay. So there's what Frieza's defense looks like. So after we use the active, remember, he's also going to activate his full passive, essentially. Well, besides the enemy restriction parts. So Frieza gets to 150% attack and defense when attacking. So 55% Link level 1. It's not the worst ever. I mean, we are in a full Terrifying Conqueror category team. And then when he super attacks, he's going to get the 30% defense as well. So, I mean, if he gives us a couple of super attacks... Remember, after he does 5 attacks, he does get the extra 100% damage and stuff like that. Let's see how Dodoria handles it. I don't know how strong this Gogeta boss is. I guess this is a post-Red Zone stage. I actually, when I initially jumped in, I thought this was a stage that came out with Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta. But no, this came out, again, this is a post-Red Zone world where this stage came out. That's why, we're doing a lot of crits and the bosses are actually living, too. My Dodoria is at 55%. If I use the band unit in the 55% video, I do also make sure that the band unit is 55%, by the way. So that's 55% Dodoria right there. Alright, let's see what the damage Frieza gets right here is. We have a lot of support, no big bad bosses and stuff like that. Again, Frieza, these villain units, man, are very resource-heavy characters, right? Like, you know, you're going to want to use your Link skill balls, your Link level keys and stuff. You gotta, you know, we're not looking at the true version of these characters if we don't have big bad bosses at level 10. So, I don't know. I guess that was good. I mean, we covered pretty much all the aspects of Frieza. We saw his attack stacking play into the damage with the active skill, right? We did see kind of like the KO screen version. I guess it's not any different, but it just looks so good as a KO screen, right? Like Frieza laughing with that KO just drop over it is like fire. Yeah, we talked about all the different parts of his kit. I complained about low-class warrior enemies. Yeah, we pretty much got everything. Okay, so let's just take a look at his details now. You guys let me know what you think of this first form Frieza. Again, the 55% videos with these villains like this are tough, but Frieza is gonna, at his best, I think he could be like Piccolo Jr. except if Piccolo Jr. didn't have the giant transformation, which is a game changer, and he didn't have the active, and he was probably a bit weaker this year compared to how strong Piccolo Jr. was in the content last year, but we will see. I would say the best comp, the best way this guy might turn out is like Piccolo Jr. Light, I think would be the best. Alright guys, so this was the new DOKKANFEST First Form Frieza. I guess let's just go ahead and take a look at some of his details, talk about what this guy's got a little bit more in depth here. This is beautiful last view, Frieza First Form. Leader skills, planetary destruction, or space traveling warrior category key 3 when 70% of stats. The extra 30% is for inhuman deeds or terrifying conqueror characters. I hate his leader skill for 2 reasons. One, well, I guess maybe even for 3. Okay, number 1, we just don't have a ton of good characters on there right now, period. Number 2, Space Traveling Warriors, at least, is a character that is heavily controversial, at least in my eyes. I've been complaining about Golden Frieza and Metal Cool not being on those categories for years, because it's come into play several times. Right, that's a huge issue. And then, dude, no more 2 leader skills for DOKKANFEST. Enough. Like, dude, we could have tacked on, bro, even gifted warriors, man. That puts, like, Piccolo Jr. and stuff on there. Sworn enemies. Like, you add 1 more category. Wicked Bloodline. I mean, most of the Wicked Bloodline characters are on here already, I guess. But, damn, like, I don't see why he couldn't have had... No DOKKANFEST should be 2 leader skill anymore. Especially on a character that is, like, leading weak characters. Like, come on, man. His super attack is the Death Beam. He stacks attack. Very good because he has, like, an active skill attack. Stacking attack, if it's just there, it's like, okay, whatever. I mean, cool, a little bit extra damage, not really a big deal. But it really giga charges an active skill attack, so that's good. Then he gets 30% defense for 1 turn, immense damage to the enemy, and then greatly lowers enemy attack. I do like the debuff now, because Cell Max and Gogeta are 2 fights where that really can help, so that's good. Frieza's passive, Clean Up Disposal. He'll activate the intro, and he gets 100% attack and defense, and an additional has a high chance to be a super for 5 turns from the start of turn when there's 2 Space Traveling Warrior category allies at the start of character's attack and turn. So, here's the thing about this. The fights are longer now. This would have worked a lot better in the Fusion Zamasu meta. But, I mean, when we're running a team with Beast Gohan and Carnival Gogeta and shit, like, you know, we're still finishing these fights on turn 10, turn 9, and stuff. Like, when we're using the terrible, terrifying Conqueror characters, bro, we're going to be winning on turn, like, 13 or something. Like, it's, like, we might have more of the fight without his intro than we have with his intro. So, this is just really bad right now. Then he gets 3 key 150% attack units at the start of turn. Then 150% attack units when attacking. He gets 20% defense and 10% chance to crit per terrifying conqueror category ally. Again, it's not 2 years ago. 2 years ago, that's pretty good. But, I mean, we just had a leap of difficulty. And we got no terrifying conqueror characters during the 9th anniversary. Except for Golden Frieza, right? Actually, let me just quickly... double check that. Let's head over here, because this would show us characters in order of when they came out. It is just, yeah. And then the other, I haven't done his showcase yet, that First Form Frieza, but he's a Super Bosses support. It's like they dropped a couple of Friezas along with it, but these Friezas that they just dropped aren't like gonna work good with this Frieza. So sure. I mean, it's strong. It's a strong line, right? Like the defense and the crit chance is good, but it's going to be tough, man. Then he gets 100% attack and a guaranteed additional super starting from the turn in which he does his 5th attack in battle. I mean, that's essentially going to replace his intro. But, I mean, so the attack stays the same. The additional is upgraded to a guaranteed super rather than a high chance to be a super. But he loses the defense. So, okay. Then he gets an extra 100% attack and 50% chance to crit against a pure Saiyan enemy. And if that enemy is a low-class warrior enemy, it's an additional super. It's just, man, this is just not what a good This is not a good, tight kit in 2024. It's just raw stats and annoying restrictions. Not great. So he has all that. Active skill is going to be very good. This is going to be probably the best part about this Frieza. Universe's best spectacle. Ultimate damage to the enemy. He does do an attack break, which is very good. Active skill attack break is awesome. In my experience, bosses do feel like, at least like, okay, like turn 1, we've reached Blue Gogeta. I do feel like it's most likely he'll super right away. I feel like that's most common. So, you know, getting there and then dropping the active, like we could win if we attack break the super. So that's good. Activation conditions. So we could do it immediately if there's a low class warrior enemy. We could do it on turn 3 if there's a pure Saiyan enemy. And then we could just, it's restrictionless from turn 5. I think the condition is good. Because you're going to want to build up his damage on the active anyway. So I think the condition, this is a condition that I have no problem with whatsoever. Link's our strongest gun in space, universe's most malevolent, Frieza's army, thirst for conquest, big bad bosses, fear and faith, fierce battle. He's got a good Link set. I mean, the bottom 4 is the main ones you look at, right? That's a really strong bottom 4 Links that Frieza's got. Really good. 12 kill multiplier, 150%, okay? And then we can go ahead and swap back over and we'll take a look at the categories. But remember, it's not like we're talking about, again, Beast Gohan, who has no character restrictions or enemy restrictions or anything, and all of his categories just essentially get Beast Gohan added to them. This is like, we could use Frieza, like, if there's one of these missions or something like that, but we're going to have to be concerned that we got the Space Traveling Warrior allies for his intro, and the Terrifying Conqueror allies for his, defense and crit chance, and then hopefully we'll be fighting a pure Saiyan enemy, right? Like, it's just annoying. Very annoying. So this first one, this is Planetary Destruction. It is great for Planetary Destruction to get a leader skill here. I am pleased about that, but, I just wish Frieza had 3 leader skills, right? Or 3 categories on there. Then he's also leading Space Traveling Warriors. The good news here is that LR Turles and STR Bojack, are, like, in line to come up at any point. And both fulfill Space Traveling Warrior and Terrifying Conqueror for Frieza. And both would be supporting Frieza. Because Bojack supports Space Traveling Warriors, Turles supports Terrifying Conquerors, excuse me. So, like, that's why it's so annoying. Because if they make Bojack as good as Kefla, if they make LR Turles as good as Broly, Chila, and Lemo, Frieza's team is massive. Dude, it's a night and day difference when you add a character that strength level to the team. But they said, what if we easy it AGL Bardock? That's what they said. So there's that. Then Frieza's on Inhuman Deeds. Yet another, this team has still never gotten a leader. Ever. The only leader for the team is the AGL Vegeta and Nappa. That's true, right? There's not even, like, free-to-play leads or anything? Oh, no, there's a lot of, I guess there's a lot. Here, I'll flip over for this. Okay, so this is who came out with it. They have this Vegeta marked as a leader, but, his stats are only 150%, though. And then there's this, the Ban Unit Baby, and then obviously the free-to-play EZA Bobbity. But still, you guys get, like, we haven't had a Dokkan Fest proper leader skill for Inhuman Deeds ever. And it came out with the LR Vegeta and Nappa. I do think, by the way, that LR Vegeta and Nappa and Tech Vegeta and Nappa are legitimate options for this team. The only thing, though, is, this is where we start talking about Big Bad Boss's characters, dude, is, like, we're overloading the team. Dodoria doesn't have Big Bad Bosses. Tech Vegeta and Nappa doesn't have it. LR Vegeta and Nappa doesn't have it. And then all of a sudden, Frieza's on the team by himself with the Big Bad Bosses. You guys see the problem, right? I think you do. I think you guys get it. So there's that. Then Frieza is also on the Terrifying Conqueror category team. I guess Baby, should be significant. Baby would activate all of this guy's conditions, Space Traveling Warrior and Terrifying Conqueror, and Baby has the giant active skill as well, which certainly could be pretty good. Then Frieza's on the Wicked Bloodline team. So we've gotten a few Wicked Bloodline characters recently, although these two aren't really great to work with as Frieza, unfortunately. Then Frieza's on Gifted Warriors, so he is on Piccolo Jr.'s team. Is he on the 200% for Piccolo Jr.? Like, is that something I could consider doing? Is running a Piccolo Jr. team? No. Oh my god, dude. Here we go. Here's Frieza's 200% beside himself. Trash, trash, and trash. Oh, boy. That's tough. So if we're going to want to see 200% leader skill Frieza, it's going to have to be on his own leader skill there. That's unfortunate. But yeah, this is Gifted Warriors. Obviously, we have like Orange Piccolo and some strong options over there. And then finally, we are on the Sworn Enemy category. Someday, I think this could be a really fun team. I mean, Demon King Piccolo, at all the Friezas, all the Boos. This could be a great, awesome team for a villain lover like myself. But we'll see. It does have the god of the game, STR Kid Buu. He's right there, dude. Category can't be that bad if STR Kid Buu's on it, right? So there we go. There is First Form Frieza. I'm completely unsure of this guy. I think he sucks. Pretty sure he's terrible. He's going to get no use. Like, we're just literally... It's like, okay, they dropped this Frieza who's okay, but running his team is a win rate of, like, you know, 1 out of every 15 attempts. Like, is that good? No. So, hopefully he gets the buffs he needs. This guy needs a lot of help. LR, Turles, or Bojack could be a nice start, but, I mean, we wouldn't see either of them happen until, like, the next EZA we would see would be, like, April 10th or something like that, I think. So, let me know what you guys think. Thanks, guys, for watching, and I'll catch you guys next time.